guys, and welcome back to our online training program about Facebook and Instagram ads. After this introduction chapter, now we're going into the real thing. Now we're going into campaign creation. And how I would like to structure this is, in the first level, I will show you exactly how your campaign is structured, then your ad set, and then your ads. So first of all, you have to really understand that every account has all of those three levels, right? And on each level, you can set up different things. So on campaign level, for example, that's where you define all the objectives of your campaign. So you can go into awareness, consideration, or conversion. In the next slide, I'm going to show you exactly the 10 campaign objectives that there are right now. On ad set level, that's where you can really go into targeting, okay? For me as a marketer, the ad set level is basically the most important one because it's the backbone of your entire campaign. It shows you exactly to whom you will display your ad, okay? You can not only do the targeting there, so set up your audience, your saved audience, custom audience, or lookalike audience, but you also decide the placements, okay? So will you show it on mobile newsfeed, desktop newsfeed, Instagram feeds, Instagram stories, desktop right column, and all the others, all the other placements that there are right now. We will go in that in much more detail, okay? Very important thing that you also set on ad set level is the budget, okay? So if you want to spend, let's say, 100 euros per day, and you have a couple of ads, a couple of different ads, you have to have in mind that you don't set the budget on the ad level, but on the ad set level, okay? If you're more advanced, you would like to work probably with manual bids instead of automated bids. That's what you also decide on ad set level, okay? And then we're going to the lowest part of this hierarchy, which is the ad level. And of course, at one point of time, you have to define which kind of copy, which kind of image, what ad type are you going to show to your audience. And you also define the call to action buttons. Think about it. When have you seen the last time a Facebook ad or an Instagram ad? There are always call to action buttons at the bottom that say like learn more, shop now, book now, sign up, and stuff like that. And they're predefined call to action buttons, and those you also define on the ad level structure, on the ad level. So let's get started. Let's go step by step. Start on campaign level, then I'll show you all the cool things on ad set level, and then we go into ad level. So as I promised, here I show you the 10 campaign objectives that there are right now. Previously there have been more, but they were accumulated. For example, in the middle in consideration and engagement, they have accumulated three objectives that were before. They were like page likes, post engagement, and event engagement, and they were all now accumulated engagement. So if you want to apply those, you simply go into engagement, you click on it, and then they will open 3 further sub objectives below. But that's not so important for us. For us, important that we clearly understand what each of those objectives does and which ones I would recommend to you. So let's get started in a very broad aspect. Okay, so if you think of a conversion funnel, okay, it would start on one side and go to the other side. And here on the awareness, it's basically the upper part of the funnel. Okay, so it's the first time you contact new people, and then in consideration you really start considering your brand and your product, and then in conversion they convert. Okay, so that's the theory behind it. What technically happens if you launch a campaign for brand awareness or you launch a campaign for reach is that the algorithm will optimize for impressions or for reach. So it's important that all of us understand what the difference between reach and impression is. It's basically, imagine that you have 3 people in your audience. To one of those people you show it 2 times, and to the other one just once. Okay, so those 3 people will of course be a reach of 3, but as one person has seen it twice, so the impressions will be 4, because 2 times the one person and 1 on 1, so the other one just saw it once, so it's gonna be impression 4 and reach 3. So that's what happens if you work on awareness level. Recommendable if you're a big brand and you want to do branding campaigns that accompany a television campaign for stuff like that. That's the case that you need it. For smaller ones, not so recommendable. Then we go into consideration. I think most of you have already worked with traffic campaigns, so here the algorithm simply optimizes to get the highest number of clicks. So you will see very high CTRs, so click-through rates, and very low CPC, cost per clicks. But however, it does not necessarily mean that those people then actually convert and bring you sales, because that's not what you tell the algorithm. You just tell the algorithm, hey, bring me a lot of clicks. Okay? So that's what happens if you optimize for traffic. If you want more sales, you should go into conversion, but I'll come to that in a second. Engagement. The engagement one is, as I said, it's the summary of 3 sub-objectives, and it basically aims for people that engage with your post. So what does it mean to engage? Think about it. What could it be to engage with a post? Exactly. It means like they like your post, they comment it, or they share it. Okay, those are the 3 engagement things. And so the algorithm optimizes to get you the highest amount of people that engage with your post. Okay, app installs, pretty straightforward. If you have an app, the algorithm optimizes to get the highest number of app installs. Video views, here also it doesn't even, if you have an ad with a video, of course your goal could be that many people see the video if you're in branding, but what you eventually want is that they engage with it, and then they click on it, and then they purchase on your website. But it's not what the algorithm would do if you would optimize for video views. In video views, it would just optimize that many people see the video for more than 50%. So good to know, right? Not very recommendable if you're not in branding and your objective is that many people see the video. If you are in performance marketing, what you want is that many people purchase, and then you wouldn't go for video views. Last one in the consideration chapter is lead generation. Okay, lead generation, I have good results for companies like in the telecom industry, in the electricity industry and gas industry, where their aim of the Facebook campaign is simply to get a lot of emails, a lot of phone numbers, and a lot of names, and then they call them with their call center. So that works nicely, because what happens in lead generation is that a pop-up will open automatically after they click on your ad, and it's pre-filled already with the data that Facebook has about their, as I said, like name, phone number, email address, and birth date if you want to ask that also. And then they just have to click on submit, and you'll get their data, and you can afterwards download it, of course. So it's good, but depends on your goal. If you're a small medium-sized e-commerce company, then I wouldn't go for lead generation. Maybe just in a case of a little lottery or something, if you have I don't know, one product for free, if you like, share, and come, if you tag a friend and like our page and stuff like that. For those little games, I would probably consider lead generation. If not, just for your conversion campaigns that you want to bring sales, I wouldn't go for lead generation. Okay, and now let's come to the important one. The important one is here in the conversion level. Okay, if you take a look at my campaigns that are active right now, almost all of them are in this area. Okay, so 90% of my campaigns are with conversion, and the rest of it is with product catalog sales. So what does conversion mean? Was product catalog sales and was store visits. First of all, store visits is, of course, if you have a physical store, let's say you're a little bakery in Barcelona, or you're a hairdresser in Barcelona, and you want to bring many people to your physical store, that's where you would go with the store visits. However, I tested it and it didn't bring me so good results, to be honest, even for those local businesses. So what I still have for you is like the conversions and the product catalog sales. And here it's very important to understand what is a conversion, okay, and how can you optimize for that? Well, a conversion in e-commerce, pretty straightforward. In the best case, it's a sale, okay. A conversion, if you want to collect leads, could also be that a person comes to your website. There you have a form that they have to fill out, and a completely filled out form could also be a conversion. But in the most cases, your conversion would be a purchase. But the important thing to know is that between a click and the final conversion, there are many sub-steps, okay? And each of those steps could be a conversion, and you have to just define it, okay? So typical e-commerce, you have the first step is that they click on the ad, then they come to your landing page, so it's a page view. Then a view content, then we take a specific look at a specific product of your catalog, then add to cart, of course add to a shopping cart, initiate checkout, payment info added, and then purchase, okay? And now depending on the quantity of sales you have, I would recommend to go into the very last part of the funnel, so the purchase, or one step before. And the magical number here is 50 events per week. So if you have 50 sales per week, measured by the Facebook pixel for each ad set, I would optimize for purchase. However, if you have less than 50 sales per ad set, I would go into one of the events before. So for example, usually the waterfall from add to cart to purchase is around 3/4, so 75%. So if you have, let's say, 15 sales per week, you would have 60 add to carts. So I would go in the conversion, I would go for add to carts, okay? If that was a lot of information, we will have a section on that in the advanced and in the third chapter in the advanced category, and I will go in much more detail about that. So for now, it's just important to understand that a conversion campaign takes into consideration exactly what happens after the person has clicked on your ad and what they do on your website, okay? Whereas a traffic campaign only takes into consideration that many people click on your ad, okay? And then the last one that's important is the product catalog sales. That one works if you have an e-commerce store and if you have your catalog linked to Facebook. For example, with a Shopify page, it's very easy to sync your catalog with an app that's called Feedly. I will put that in the link, and it's very easy to get your feed uploaded to Facebook, and then Facebook can create an own catalog in it. And we will also go into much more detail in the next part, in the chapter 3, because it's very important, and it will allow you those famous dynamic product ads. So product catalog sales are dynamic product ads. So if a person has come to your website, has taken a look at a brown t-shirt, and you have t-shirts of all colors in your catalog, it will show mainly the brown t-shirt to this person, okay? So that's very relevant and therefore very successful. So those were all of those 10 campaign objectives that you have. It's basically just one click that you have to do in the beginning of the campaign of the creation of your campaigns, but it's a very important one that you really understand what is it that you want to do with your ads. And I would strongly recommend to go into conversion campaigns. If you have not set up the pixel for your website yet, then go into traffic, because then conversions wouldn't work. And if you have your product catalog uploaded it to Facebook, I would go in remarketing for dynamic product ads with product catalog sales. So the two most important campaigns for me are conversion and product catalog sales. And if you're on beginner level, go with traffic until you have the Facebook pixel installed. But however, I would still recommend to already install the Facebook pixel. So let's see what happens on ad set level.